Hi, my name is Leslie Delgado, and I will be discussing Chapter 9, the case of disappearing workers and unemployment. So many workers have disappeared from the labor force. Many believe that unemployment statistics reflect everyone struggling to find work, but that's not the case. Official unemployment rates do not capture discouraged workers. My main point is that discouraged workers and the rise in disability claims show how labor market behaviors respond to incentives, supply and demand, and policy changes, revealing hidden weaknesses in workforce participation. So, what are discouraged workers? Discouraged workers are individuals who want jobs but have given up searching due to perceived lack of opportunity. Since they are excluded from the unemployment rate, official statistics can make the labor market look healthier than it is. So is the concept of discouraged workers flawed? Mm, Official unemployment statistics don't count discouraged workers. This makes the labor market look stronger than it is because the government underestimates the actual rate of employment. Some argue that the concept is misleading if you only look at the standard unemployment rate. However, broader measurements like U6 include these workers and give a more accurate picture. The labor market is no different from any other market. We can examine the labor market using supply and demand. So labor supply is upward sloping, meaning that as wages rise, the quantity of labor supply increases. And labor demand is downward sloping. So as wages rise, firms hire fewer workers because labor becomes more expensive. So higher wages lead to more workers wanting jobs. The supply increases, but firms hire fewer workers. So demand decreases. When wages are low or jobs are limited, more people are likely to stop searching, creating discouraged workers. So disability benefits are used as incentives. The Social Security Administration made it easier to qualify for disability benefits. Many people choose to file for disability rather than unemployment benefits. So the easier SSA criteria increase disability enrollment. This shows how economic incentives shapes workforce decision. So disability fraud case, a man from Missouri admitted to collecting over 100,000 in Social Security disability benefits, claimed to have difficulty walking, standing, and seeing, all while doing yard work, walking normally, and carrying heavy objects. This shows how easily SSA criteria can be exploited and taken advantage of. This is an example of incentives affecting labor choices. This case illustrates the unintended consequences of disability policies. It demonstrates how incentives created by SSA rules can lead some individuals to exit the labor force. Job growth with low unemployment. NBC stated that the government added 139,000 jobs in May of 2025. Unemployment remained steady at 4.2% and wage growth continued. However, low labor force participation declined and many exited the workforce, suggesting that job gains don't necessarily reverse the trend of disappearing workers. So even with new jobs added, the unemployment rate stayed low and many people remain outside the labor force. This supports the idea that discouraged workers affect labor participation beyond what the unemployment rate shows. So labor force participation fell from 67% in 2000 to 62% in 2025. And the SSD beneficiaries rose from 4.3 million to 9 million. These visuals show how long-term declines in participation and rising disability claims. They reinforce the economic reasoning that incentives and policies influence labor supply, contributing to disappearing workers. You can see how much disappearing workers took up most of the spending. So in conclusion, discouraged workers reveal hidden unemployment. Labor market behavior follows supply, demand, and incentives. Disability benefits can reduce labor participation. So understanding these factors helps policymakers design effective labor and economic policies.